On this video, I would like to continue my inductive Christological Greek grammar from Mark chapter 3, verses 7 to verse 12. We are now looking at how Jesus is healing a multitude of people by the seaside. And so we begin with verse 7. Kai ha Jesus metaton matheton autou, anekoresin pras tain thalasan, kai palu plethas apates Galileas, e kaluthesin, apa kai apates Judaias. And Jesus, and we'll be going verse by verse, and Jesus with his disciples departed to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed, and from Judea. Here just some of the grammar. And Jesus, accompanied with his disciples, meta taking the genitive plural here, anekoresin from anakoreo, departed, the aorist indicative active third person singular, to depart. So he departed with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude, the Sea of Galilee, a great multitude from Galilee, ekaluthesin. Ekaluthesin is followed, is the aorist indicative active third person singular from akalutheo. So a great multitude followed, and from Judea. So from all around. And then the text continues. Kai apa Yerasalumon, kai apates Idumayas, kai perentu Jordanu, kai peri Turan, kai Sidona, plethas palu, akuantes chasa epoie eothen plus auton. I'm going to read it very slowly. If anyone is following in the Greek, they could follow along, or if anyone's learning Greek. And from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and across the Jordan, and around Tyre and Sidon, a great multitude, when they heard whatsoever he was doing, they came to him. Notice the multitude now, Mark wants us to know, are coming out to the sea, to Jesus, from all over, from Galilee, from Judea, from Jerusalem, from Idumea, across the Jordan, around Tyre and Sidon. And we're told that when they heard whatsoever things he was doing, akuantes is from akuo, and hearing, it's a present participle, nominative masculine plural from akuo. So when they heard, and I'm taking it as a temporal participle, when they heard whatsoever things he was doing. Epoie is from poieo. It is the imperfect indicative active third person singular from poieo. So when they heard whatsoever things he was doing, they came to him. Eothon is your aorist indicative active third person plural from erkomai. So they came to him, and now we're going to see some of the miracles coming up. But first of all, they put Jesus, they have a boat ready because of the crowd and the squeezing that would have occurred, the crushing. Must have been a huge crowd. Notice it says, Kai e pentois mathe taisautu, hena ploi arian pras cartere auto, dia tan aklan hename delibosin auton. And he said to his disciples, in order that they should make ready a small boat on account of the crowd, in order that he might not be crushed, in order that they might not crush him, I should say. So here we have a pen, and he said, the aorist indicative active third person singular from Lego, and he said to his disciples, in order that, here we have a purpose clause introduced by the conjunction chena, in order that a small boat, ploiarion means like a small boat, uh, that there might be made ready a small boat. Pras cartere is the present subjunctive third person singular from pras cartereo. In order that a small boat uh, be readied or made ready for him on account of the crowd, in order that they might not squeeze him or crush him. Another henna clause showing purpose or result. Thelibosin is from thelibo. It is the present subjunctive third person plural from thelibo, to crush, that they might not crush him. So there is a huge crowd and he's being squeezed potentially. And so they need to have a small boat ready that he can get away from the crushing effect of the crowd. And so we read on in verse 10, Palus gar etherapusin, hosta epipiptain auto, hena autu hapsontai, hasoi akon mastigas. That is, and he healed many, so that to fall, that they would fall to him in order, or before him, in order that they might be healed, that is, as many as were having diseases or illnesses. Notice here, for many, he healed many. Palus is the accusative. The verb etherapusin is from therapuo. It is the aorist indicative active third person singular from therapuo. So he healed many with the result. Hosta is introducing a result clause here, with the result to fall to him. Epipiptain is from epipipto. It's the present infinitive from active from epipipto, that they might fall, or to fall to him, in order that they might touch him. Hapsontai is from haptamai. It is the aorist. Henna here is following, is a purpose clause, in order that they might touch him. So we have the aorist subjunctive third person plural from haptamai, that they might touch him, that is, as many as were having sicknesses or diseases. Ekon is from echo. It is the imperfect indicative active, a third person plural from echo. So as many as were having, mastigas is your accusative, and it means diseases or sicknesses, illnesses. And so they're all even wanting to touch him to be healed. And then in verse 11, Kaitanumata ta akatarta, haten autan, et the orun prasep piptan auto, kai ekrazan legantes hate su echahuias tu theu. And the impure spirits, the demonic spirits, the unclean spirits, whenever they were seeing or beholding him, they were falling to him and they were crying, saying, "You are the Son of God." Notice here the demons know who Jesus is. And of course, he tells them to be quiet. He charges them not to even speak anymore. So whenever they were beholding him or seeing him, Etheorun is from theoreo, meaning to see or behold. Here we have an imperfect indicative active third person plural. It's an iterative use of the imperfect. In other words, every time they would see him, they would they would fall to him and cry, "You are the Son of God." Prasepipton, they were falling down. Here we have the imperfect indicative active third person plural from pras pipto, to fall down. So they were falling down to him and they were crying. Akradzan is from kradzo. It again, we have the imperfect indicative active third person plural from kradzo. So they were crying, saying, legantes is your present participle, nominative masculine plural from lego. Saying, and here's what they were saying, that you are the Son of God. Su A is your present indicative active second person singular from me. So you are the Son of God. They know who he is, but Jesus does not want them to keep crying this out. And so in the next verse, he charges them sternly that they would be quiet, that they would not make him known or manifest. Kai pala epitima autois hena me autan phaneran poiesosin. And he charged them with many words, possibly he charged to them with many words. The way I'm reading it, epitima is from epitimao. It means to charge. We have a present imperative second masculine singular from epitimao. So he charged them in order that Henna is looking again at a result clause or a purpose clause in order that they might not make him manifest or reveal who he is. He didn't want to accept their words coming from Satan as demonic beings. And poiesosin is the subjunctive in order that they might not make him known from poieo. It is your aorist subjunctive, third person plural from poieo. So as we look at this text, we see Jesus healing many people by the seaside, and Mark is setting forth his great miracles as the Son of God and what he's able to do because he is God's Son, the second person of the Blessed and Holy Trinity.